What if the most powerful move in geopolitics isn't made with missiles, but with construction permits? In central London, the United Kingdom has approved what could become China's largest embassy in Europe, a 5.5-acre sovereign compound, underground facilities, and a location reportedly just 20 meters from critical communication infrastructure that carries the data of a nation. No secrecy, no invasion, fully legal. But in the digital age, when data is power, does proximity become strategy? Based on investigations of unredacted planning documents, the primary concern regarding the extensive underground development beneath the new Chinese super embassy in London is to create a secure, deep basement facility, which critics and security experts warn could function as an espionage hub to monitor sensitive British financial and internet communications. Let's look at the numbers. In 2015, China's economy was approximately $11 trillion. By 2024, it surpassed $17 trillion. The UK's economy during the same period grew modestly from around $3 trillion to roughly $3.3 trillion. China's economy is now more than 5 times larger than Britain's. Trade between the two nations now exceeds £100 billion annually. Over 120,000 Chinese students attend British universities. Chinese capital has flowed into British energy projects, real estate, and infrastructure. This is not a minor relationship. It is structural, and structure creates influence. The UK officially calls China a systemic competitor, not an ally, not an adversary, a competitor. So when competitors expand diplomatic scale, it raises strategic eyebrows. China is a top 3 trading partner for the UK, with total goods and services trade exceeding £100 billion annually, characterized by a significant UK trade deficit. Key trade involves UK imports of Chinese machinery, electronics, and clothing, while the UK exports cars, pharmaceuticals, and services to China. China now operates more than 270 diplomatic missions worldwide, more than the United States. That's not accidental. Diplomatic presence is influence. Influence is leverage. This London site is not symbolic. It is massive by European standards, and it sits inside a country that is. Location is a signal. Timing is a signal. And signals are rarely random in geopolitics. Five Eyes intelligence partner, a NATO military power, a global financial clearing hub processing trillions daily. Scale is a signal. London is vital to NATO as a foundational, high-capability ally that strengthens the transatlantic bond, acts as a thought leader, and provides significant military, intelligence, and logistical support. Now we arrive at the detail that transformed public debate. The embassy site sits approximately 20 meters from major fiber optic communication infrastructure. Fiber optic cables carry more than 95% of global internet traffic, government communications, financial transactions, private data, military coordination signals. Let's be precise. There is no evidence of wrongdoing, but intelligence strategy does not ignore geography. Modern data interception does not look like a spy physically cutting a cable. It can involve advanced signal monitoring, electromagnetic analysis, long-term metadata mapping. Every major power engages in intelligence operations abroad, including Britain. So when critics raise concerns, they are not necessarily accusing. They are asking, Does proximity increase opportunity? And has the risk been fully assessed? Because in the digital age, infrastructure is power. While the Chinese side may argue these are standard, modern embassy security measures, the unprecedented scale, secrecy, and specific location near critical fiber optic infrastructure suggest a high-level investment in monitoring and potentially disrupting digital communication in the UK's financial heartland. The UK is not defenseless. GCHQ is among the most advanced signals intelligence agencies in the world. Critical systems are encrypted. Sensitive networks are segmented. But in 2023 alone, the UK recorded thousands of cyber incidents targeting both public and private institutions. State-backed cyber activity is now constant background noise in international politics. Could proximity increase theoretical advantage? Possibly. Would that automatically mean vulnerability? No. But modern intelligence advantage is rarely dramatic. It is incremental. Small insights, over time, aggregated into leverage. In geopolitics, information is rarely wasted. If this debate were happening in isolation, it might feel abstract, but it isn't. Between 2023 and 2025, several high-profile espionage-related cases in the United Kingdom intensified public concern about foreign interference. In 2023, a parliamentary researcher with links to Westminster was arrested under the UK's Official Secrets Act amid allegations of spying for China. Investigations continued into 2024. In 2024, British authorities charged individuals under the National Security Act, legislation specifically strengthened to counter foreign state interference. Beijing has repeatedly denied wrongdoing in such cases, and it is important to separate allegations from proof. But these events changed the atmosphere. They shifted the conversation, because when espionage investigations are active, and when foreign interference becomes headline news, public tolerance for strategic ambiguity shrinks. So when a large foreign embassy belonging to a nation labeled a systemic competitor receives approval for expansion near sensitive infrastructure, the discussion is no longer purely architectural. It becomes psychological. It becomes strategic, not because of proven misconduct linked to the embassy, but because trust, once questioned, alters perception. In geopolitics, timing is never irrelevant, and this approval comes at a time when Britain has publicly acknowledged heightened foreign intelligence activity on its soil. That context matters. So what does Britain risk? And what does China gain? If the embassy operates entirely within diplomatic norms, the benefits remain clear. China strengthens its European presence. The UK maintains economic engagement with a $17 trillion economy. But when espionage cases dominate headlines, when lawmakers speak openly about foreign interference, when security legislation is updated in response to state-backed threats, the margin for error narrows. In such an environment, even theoretical vulnerabilities feel amplified. If hypothetically, sensitive information were ever compromised, the advantage would not be immediate chaos. It would be strategic insight, patterns, negotiation leverage, long-term positioning, and that is the real tension, not panic, not accusation, but risk calibration. Britain's approval signals confidence in its security apparatus, confidence in GCHQ, confidence in oversight mechanisms, confidence that it can manage engagement without surrendering advantage. But geopolitics in 2025 is no longer just about trade agreements or diplomatic receptions. It is about resilience in the age of data, because embassies are no longer just symbols. They are nodes in a digital world where information moves faster than diplomacy, and sometimes trust is tested not by what has happened, but by what could happen.